bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. It's Monday again. So welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News. Have you brushed your teeth yet? And it's noon.
Man, you should have been did that for sure.
And this news is being presented to you by none other than Serpo, your favorite smoking partner,
Hey, make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
for Sugar Deal. And once you get this sponsorship
Man,
by this glue guard, you don't got to worry about people who don't brush their teeth. You
Man.
won't be smoking on no spit.
and your
Get it
lip
there.
won't drip. You know what I'm
For
saying?
Sugar Deal. Now, the Nebraska governor to support medical cannabis commission as legislature remains deadlocked. What does this mean for you Nebraskans? Amid legislation roadblocks, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen announced last week his administration's intentions to provide support and resources to the newly created Medical Cannabis Commission, MCC, through the Policy Research Office, PRO, the PRO, and Department of Administration Services, DAS. Consistent with the support those agencies provide to other agencies during the regulatory process. The MCC was created through voter approval of two initiatives by launching the medical cannabis program, has so far been blocked by lawmakers who cannot agree on legislation to enact the reform. Earlier this month, State Attorney General Hilgers urged lawmakers to reject proposals to create the program, alleging that regulating the medical cannabis industry would surcharge the black market, fuel adult use cannabis reforms, and make Nebraska less safe, more dangerous. You can never be more dangerous with a pothead around.
Man.
Just so you Nebraskans know. I have appointed two experienced, well-qualified individuals to the Medical Cannabis Commission who will ensure this new industry is strongly regulated to the letter of the law. The people of Nebraska enacted. I urge the legislator to promptly confirm them so they can take up the urgent work of writing strong and effective rules of the road for medical cannabis industry. Y'all doing it, Nebraskans, you know what I'm saying? But y'all need to let up off those medical cannabis users.
Man, they own them. Man, look out. Hey, look out for our peoples, though. You know what I'm saying? Just look out for our peoples. California awards $52 million in cannabis tax funds for community reinvestment. Sacramento, California. California officials have announced a significant allocation of $52.4 million in cannabis tax revenue to 33 community-based organizations and local health departments across the state. This funding, distributed through the California Community Revenue Grant Program, is especially earmarked to support communities that have been disproportionately affected by past federal state drug policies, often referred to as the war on drugs. Y'all remember when that came to play? Well, some of y'all do, you know what I'm saying? The grants, which range from $600,000 to $3 million per organization, are designed to provide a wide array of critical services. This includes job placement assistance, mental health and substance use disorder treatment, legal aid to overcome barriers to reentry for formerly incarcerated individuals, and linkages to essential medical care. D.D. Myers, senior advisor to Governor Newsom and director of the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, GoBiz, emphasized that this latest round of awards aims to bolster the economy, health, and well-being of neighborhoods that have long faced systematic disadvantages. That's a good thing. And are most deserving of the crucial reinvestment. The CalCRG program, established by Proposition 64, the Adult Use of Marijuana Act in 2016, we all know about that. That changed a lot. Continues to be a vital mechanism for directing cannabis tax dollars toward restoration. Restorative justice and community uplifting initiatives. I think it's a good thing as long as it gets to where it needs to go to. I hope, you know what I'm saying, no blockage. We all know how shit goes when some of this money get dispersed, though. We just hope it goes to where it needs to go to and it gets in the right people's hands. You know what I'm saying?
Let's figure that out.
Cali.
To my indigenous people, Indigenous Cannabis Industry Association releases map of tribal cannabis and hemp program.
I didn't even know they had that.
Man, a lot of us didn't. You know what I'm saying? To me, like me coming up as a youngin' in cannabis, though, like I used to always think like if Indians like had bud,
right,
top of the line shit.
Man,
that's just always just been a thought. You know what I'm saying? Have I got some Indian bud or not? Like I'm not sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure I haven't. You know what I'm saying? But the Indigenous Cannabis Industry Association, ICIA, last week unveiled a map of tribal cannabis hemp programs. In collaboration with cannabis law firm Vicente LLP, the map was developed through research and interviews with tribal leaders. The map shows the location of indigenous cannabis programs in blue and hemp programs in red. We don't got that map right here, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to make sure that this link to this map gets shown, put to y'all, you know what I'm saying? So you can tap on it and see what's cracking. And again, I'm just going to go back on that. The map shows the location of indigenous cannabis programs in blue and hemp programs in red. There are currently 52 tribal communities that operate federally approved hemp programs. The dozens have created custom systems to regulate cannabis for both medical and adult use. So within their own, you know what I'm saying? It's like they govern and be like, all right, this is what's for medical, this is what's for recreational. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no complaints right there. If you got it straight, man, you got it straight. Mm-hmm. About 26% of indigenous communities in the contiguous U.S. are involved with cannabis or hemp programs, according to ICIA. In a statement, ICIA founder Rob Perot said the project will highlight. Oh, they got a map. Mm-hmm. It will highlight the thankful work that has gone into these sovereign regulatory programs, as well as how these businesses affect local employment and revenue for community service. Together, we hope to inform, inspire, and empower other indigenous communities considering cannabis, as well as policymakers around the world. And that's from Perot in a press release earlier this week. You know what I'm saying? So for the indigenous communities, that's a big old plus to me. That's like you know what I'm saying? A salute. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got y'all stuff going together and y'all governing y'all own.
Right. I'm looking at the map too, though, and how it say reservations. It just took my mind somewhere else, though. Like how it say Federal American Indian Reservation, like
and State federal. American.
Right. Like I guess because it's funded by the government or something like, yeah, man.
They got something going.
Man, which is always good. North American pre-rolls market, a tale of two consumers. Washington, D.C., the pre-roll cannabis market in North America presents a fascinating study in the divergent consumer preferences and regulatory landscapes between the United States and Canada. I said in Canada. And Canada. I'm thinking about cannabis.
The
cannabis.
We want the cannabis.
Man, look, while both nations are witnessing significant growth in this convenient product category, their market dynamics reveal distinct trends in sales, products, formats, and pricing. In Canada, pre-rolls have shown remarkable dominance, recently elapsing traditional flower as the top-selling cannabis product for extended periods. This Canadian preference leans heavily towards multi-packs with 85% of their pre-roll market share attributed to these larger bundles. Basically, Canada,
Cannabis.
Canada, you know what I'm saying? They got it
That's
crack.
the name for me from now on.
Yeah, they got it cracking. They got it cracking with the pre-rolls. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question?
What?
What percentage of pre-roll likers, meaning like going to go get pre-rolls, don't know how to roll?
It's probably a lot. Because that's probably the majority of the motherfuckers that go get the pre-rolls because they can't roll. Can't roll. You know what I mean? Okay, look. A relatively newer offering in Canada due to evolving regulations have also seen explosive growth, driving up the average price per unit. Conservatively, the U.S. market, while far larger in sheer volume of units sold, 324.5 million in 2024 compared to Canada's 68.7 million, that's pre-rolls, sees pre-rolls holding a smaller though rapidly expanding market share compared to flower. So, Best Way to Smoke probably need to go slide over to Canada. You know what I'm saying? With some pre-rolls.
Cannabis?
Man, cannabis. While infused pre-rolls are also popular, the average price per unit has seen a decline. Even with the rise of premium options, this suggests more competitive and perhaps price-sensitive environment in the more fragmented U.S. state-by-state markets. So the pre-rolls ain't doing. The pre-rolls are. It's like they sold more in 2024 though, but the way it's trending though, Canada is cracking. You know what I'm saying, with the pre-rolls.
And it's like up in there, it says something about like the infused pre-rolls sometimes don't do as good as the regular.
Right.
Your favorite smoking partner tends to agree. I would rather take, you know what I'm saying, a bomb pre-roll, you know what I'm saying, with some good bud up in there versus one that's like packed, you know what I'm saying, infused.
Right.
Because it'd burn funny to me.
Right.
It'd just be like messed up versus just regular.
The only one that I've had that burnt right was the AJ's.
The fat one?
The fat one.
Yep. And just like Sacramento, you know what I'm saying, in Cali, they've been doing some good stuff, you know what I'm saying, with the cannabis, you know what I'm saying, community. Albuquerque launches basic income pilot program using cannabis funds. Albuquerque, New Mexico this month launched a pilot program for guaranteed basic income funded partly by cannabis industry tax revenue, according to a Business Insider report. The program was implemented by the City of Albuquerque's Cannabis Equity and Community Reinvestment Fund, which the City Council voted to establish in 2023. That's like some of the questions I'd be asking myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when some of these social equity cannabis programs come up, like what is it doing back into the community? You know what I'm saying? What are you giving back? You know what I'm saying? The reinvestment fund, the community reinvestment fund, along with cannabis equity. You know what I'm saying? That it moved me a little bit.
Right.
Officials have allocated over $4 million for the 3-year program, with the $2 million coming from taxes on legal cannabis sales. So if that's half of it,
right?
Because it's just slightly over $4 million,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So if you're getting $2 million coming from straight legal cannabis tax sales, that's great for the legal community. Unlike a universal basic income, which will provide payments for all local families, Albuquerque Guaranteed Basic Income Program prioritizing families living in areas that historically were impacted more by cannabis prohibition laws, which I strongly agree, because we might as well help rebuild here. The program launched this month with 80 participating families from 2 districts in Albuquerque. The families will receive $750 with no strings attached monthly, you know what I'm saying, over the course of the program. So however long they're in that program, this is a guaranteed $750.
Right.
The families that get it, man, please, you know what I'm saying, take care of your household and all that with it. This program puts money where it's needed most, into the hands of struggling families working to build a better future. Albuquerque is a city that will always fight to correct injustices and will push to help families get the tools they need to succeed with dignity. And that's by Mayor Tim Keller in a press release.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, and if your family is struggling, you know what I'm saying? If you in the struggle and you check by check type shit, and you get that bread, gonna get you a peasy. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm glad.
If you know, you know. That's another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News with Serpo, your favorite smoking partner.
Man, make sure you stay elevated with Big J.
And get you a peasy.
Man, get you a